Hello everybody, it's ya boy Slayercoon here. Most of my reviews so far have been positive, going over the games and gaming subjects that hold a special place in my heart. Well, someone suggested that I do the opposite, and review something that I hate. Now that's been done before. Even in the golden days of YouTube, angry reviews were incredibly oversaturated, what with everyone wanting to rip off the AVGN. But every now and then it is fun to tackle easy targets. I originally wanted to review The Mummy on DS, the worst game I have ever played. The only problem is that this game is so obscure I could barely find footage of it on YouTube, and I have no way of capturing DS gameplay, so I'm kind of fucked in that situation. So instead, I'm taking a look at the infamous Bubsy 3D. This game has been bashed enough already in my opinion. Every angry gamer on YouTube has ranted and cussed about it to death already, so why am I reviewing it? Well, that's because I have a feeling that it might not be as bad as everyone says it is, especially with garbage like Super Bubble Pop and Austin Powers Pinball on the very same console. The game's opening cutscene is an awful work of art. Like, the compressed CGI is almost charming in a Dire Straits money for nothing kind of way, although even for 1996 this looked outdated. And these alien creatures right here even boo at the pure mention of Bubsy. Although it is kinda hard to tell what they are saying sometimes.
So a crap troop of woolly commandos.
A crap tube of woolly commandos? What? Once we first start playing is when we are greeted with the instantly dated graphics. Now I'm not the kind of dude bro casual who puts graphics over gameplay, but even for 1996 this looked like crap. But I'll be honest, it's crap in an endearing way. Like, everything looks like a bad drug trip. It's almost mesmerizing due to how unfinished it looks. The same cannot be said for the audio, however. The music sounds like something out of my nightmares, and Bubsy himself—
Look! An arrow! Aren't these game designers wonderful? Giving you a guidepost to help you find your way? How convenient!
Yeah, he is so annoying. Thankfully, you can turn his voice off, so hats off to the devs for at least having the option. But what is much worse are the controls. They are so stiff and hard, and not in a good way. Bubsy has tank controls, and while those were common in the PS1 era, Bubsy takes the cake for the worst tank controls of all time. Yes, this did come out before the DualShock controller was a thing, but that's not an excuse and is easily the worst thing about this game. I actually died on the first level due to miscalculating a jump. It doesn't help that the camera is absolute garbage too. The level design is also not good. Aside from the graphics, they are confusing. I actually got lost on the second level due to the lack of indication where to go. I consider myself slightly above average at video games. I don't need waypoint markers like a COD campaign, but I do expect there to be a slight indication of where I'm supposed to go. You can also lose progress just from returning to the main menu. Now that is a load of shit. It's like this game gets worse the more you play it. The graphics go from charmingly bad to actually interfering with how you play the game. I didn't bother getting past the second level due to how confusing it was, so I will be borrowing some footage from here on out. Now, despite the overwhelming negative reception this game has received from online game reviewers, this game was actually initially released to rather mixed reviews. Yeah, they weren't all negative like you'd think they'd be, at least according to Wikipedia, so it could just be a crazed fanboy vandalizing the article. Plus, I don't know about you, but I've never heard of Gamezilla or Super Juegos before. Considering how they praise this game, I don't think it's a surprise why you don't hear about them anymore. But the ultimate question is if Bubsy 3D is as bad as people say it is. I would have to say yes and no. First of all, this game is so bad it actually gave me a headache from playing it, and the awful tank controls made my hands hurt, so I should sue the developers for causing me physical pain with their awful game. It's one of the most uncomfortable games I've ever played, and it deserves all the flack for how poorly it plays. But at the same time, I can't say it's the worst game on the OG PlayStation, considering that this could have had potential. Had they spent another year on this game, reworked the controls and whatnot, this could have been decent. Nothing stellar, but a 5 or 6 at the most. And that is something that Super Bubble Pop doesn't have bragging rights to. You see, Super Bubble Pop is a much worse game than Bubsy 3D based on the fact that it has nothing going for it. It has no content, and the puzzle gameplay is the worst of its genre. What is sad is that people constantly insist that Bubsy 3D is the worst PlayStation game ever, yet completely ignores Super Bubble Pop. It's a game that deserves to be known, if only for how bad it is. Like seriously, go tweet at the AVGN to play this game. Although considering my current audience numbers, that probably wouldn't work. Whatever, I give Bubsy 3D a 3 out of 10. It's a bad game, but one that we should lay off for once. Also, you can make Bubsy twerk. That's right, Bubsy. Shake your sexy booty cheeks, you yiffable furry bitch.